Week 6. I cannot believe it. I am your host, Jay Adler. With me as the one and only Logan Hazlove. Oh, there we go.
This
Week 6. So I was thinking real quick before I let you loose here. Week 6, like, you know, obviously like this, right? But if you're going even, right? So I always do week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is what I would do. But if you were doing 3, okay, just like let's say it's week 3. Are you a this type or are you here? Like, how do you hold up 3 fingers?
There, bro. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going
I can't
there.
see it. It's not on the screen. Get it in front of put it in front of your face a little bit.
How is that not on the screen? Am
So,
I allowed to?
See, I do this. And I don't know if it's
Three, my lord!
I don't know if it's because basketball related. I have no idea.
I would definitely edit that part out, but let's, anyway, I was trying to say, that our intro music is better than any song on the new Taylor Swift album. It's definitely more catchy and more danceable.
I had that way down, like after sports. But let's just go. I mean,
Yeah.
Because it's what the people want to see. They want to see what Logan thinks of Taylor Swift.
I have the hottest of hot takes about this. So, one, I thank you to all our Swiftie listeners. Your sense of humor is truly the definition of all Swifties, and your understanding of sarcasm. So, welcome, thank you. We welcome all the Swifties. Yeah, oh no, I'm sorry. Did you watch this for my gentleness? Anyway.
Special guest next week.
The roast of Logan Hayslip will be a legendary episode.
That would be good.
But
hosted by Emily Hayslip.
Yeah. Once you hear it this way, and it's going to be hard to describe, so just stay with me for 2 seconds.
Okay.
One, I think it's very safe to say that she has not had a great album since Red. I personally feel that way. Great album. She's had some good songs on other albums, but never start to finish a great album.
Every track's gold.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I gotcha.
Okay. 2, I really feel like, because this was a breakup album, right? Wasn't that the big story of it? That's what I heard. Okay, my wife is a Swiftie, so I hear things through the Swiftie verse. What I heard was it's a breakup album, but if you listen, every song on this album sounds almost identical. The background music and the mono, like, it is, like, I couldn't pick one song out of anything except Down Bad because she says Down Bad in it a lot. Okay?
Yeah.
What I will say is, if you watch, did you watch Stranger Things ever?
No.
Okay.
I should, but no.
A, you're really missing out. It's fantastic. But B, at the very first episode of Stranger Things, and it's the only place that I know to send people is this scene to hear the music. The kids are playing D&D in their basement, and then it's like an intro to the kids when they're riding their bikes home. It's right before one of the characters disappears and stuff like that. There's like a synthetic electronic music that is behind that. It's a really like nice little background to a scene in the film. If you hear that, I swear that Taylor got dumped or whatever happened, went through a bad breakup after she was with some guy for like 6 years, binge watched Stranger Things, heard that, and was like, I'm going to make a breakup album out of this electronic from Stranger Things. Once you hear it and then you listen to her music, it's eerily similar, and every single album sounds exactly alike.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
We only listen to maybe the first 10 songs, so maybe it gets better. I don't know.
10? You made it through 10?
Not like the whole, like, okay,
yeah, I could do like 45 seconds. Yeah.
So, one, I don't know a whole lot of Taylor Swift slow songs that I like. I like December.
Right. Back to December. That's about Taylor Lautner.
Back to December.
This is where the Swiftie in me kicks in.
I mean, there's a couple more. Back to December is one that comes to my mind. I like Wildest Dreams. Is a good,
I like Wildest Dreams.
So, but I do like her upbeat stuff more. I don't think there's any upbeat songs at all across And it's a double album, right?
Every time that I hear a song like Bad Blood, I want to find a Tall Bridge with Shallow Water. Like, I can't just shake it off. That's a terrible song. Like,
that's your daughter's favorite song.
I don't care. Yeah, because from a young age, we've used it for her to, like, shake off bruises and stuff. Shake it off, you're fine.
Here's where my problem lies with this. You don't care that her favorite song is Shake It Off.
Not at all. I'm trying to direct her toward better songs.
But you care about her opinion on the Eclipse. You can't have the best of both worlds.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. What I meant when I value her opinion on that is that she didn't find it exciting, and that 5-year-olds find everything exciting.
What you meant was, it further proves my point, so I'm going to say it meant something.
No, I still believe the Eclipse was an absolute waste of so many human beings' times. It's time. You drove a total of 2 hours to go watch that. I
would drive more. It's in North Dakota and South Dakota.
It says more about you than
I think that we're going to go out there.
Dude, there's beautiful things around you all the time. Actually, so here's another really fun tidbit, and we're keeping this one to a tight 90 minutes today, so I have to do my tidbits a little bit less, so this is going to be the worst episode for sure. My wife and I are currently, we broke ground on a house this week, right? This has been a thing that we're getting ready to do for a long time. We're designing the house, and my wife, it has, through the design process, and granted, there's a lot of windows in the house, but she's been, like, picking windows and stuff out. We literally are surrounded by trees, and, like, everything that we would see outside our window is just beautiful, right? And we went to my architect's house for the first time to go over some stuff with him, and he is in the woods in this beautiful house with all these windows. And as I was looking around, because I've told my architect, I was like, my wife is the enemy of the windows. Like, I'm with you. I'm your ally. I will fight for you. I was looking around, I literally just looked at my wife. I was like, man, I can't tell you how much I'm regretting just looking at all this beautiful scenery and everything with all these giant windows. This looks terrible. And my architect literally almost, like, shot water out of his nose. He was taking a drink of water. And my wife, like, realized for the first time that she was wrong. Which normally is how things go. She thinks something, I prove her wrong, and then she realizes that I'm always right. That's, like, how our relationship goes.
Yeah. I'm not saying any of that's false, okay? I'm not saying, and I'm not even saying that, like, because you compared it to the thunder, the storm rolling up, and you thought that, like, I'm not even saying that.
Way cooler.
What I'm saying is that this was maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I think you have to take advantage of that, especially since it was so close.
There will be a time in the not-too-distant future where your daughter asks you to carry her up to bed or something like that, and it will be the last time you ever do that. It's also a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you will never look at it like that. Your last time you ever have a chance to do it. That's the worst analogy I've ever made. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there.
Ever. I didn't make any sense, but whatever. We have already agreed to disagree on that. So
do you have any?
That wasn't I was not trying to bring up the Eclipse. My point was you can't value your daughter's opinion only when it benefits you. That's what I'm saying.
So are we gonna? Can we use using my daughter's opinion to jump into dad advice and what happened?
I got a good dad advice, and I'm sure you faced it. So let's roll into it. The only thing I was going to ask at the very beginning, but you went right in Taylor Swift.
I'm sorry.
And this is you're good. This is kind of father-ish. So like when you have a 6-month-old and somebody asks, well, how old is she? You say 6 months, right?
Yeah.
And then like 8 months, 9 months. At what point does that stop that you just go to years?
A year. If you do it after a year, you're a loser. In my opinion. I think the only time that it is acceptable, and I don't think that you should keep really track of it, is you just say 18 months. Because at that point...
Because it's a year and a half, and that makes sense.
Yes, and by the way, if she's 20 months, I'm saying 18 months.
Correct.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
But she's... like, now that she's 2, we've never been like, oh, she's 28 months old. Like,
no, you're the people who do that care about their children way too much and are losers, and they have so little to do with their lives other than just their children that they're just like they know it down to the day. Oh, I'm attacking. They're like, what? Look.
See, this is what we need though, because like for the last 3 weeks, I feel like I've carried us a little bit because you said I'm not feeling.
I couldn't disagree more, but that's fine. I feel great now. I'm like
you still have had great clips, but I'm saying your energy has not been quite up to par. But I feel like you're saying it now.
I've worked out every single day this week for over an hour. Oh, finally, okay. We could jump off this into a lot of things, potentially golf and Scotty Scheffler. I am officially, for the first time in 18 months, back at golf. I figured out I put a ton of work in, like real practice work, into my iron golf swing, and I am dialed right now. I played last Sunday, played phenomenal, played yesterday, played 9 holes, played phenomenal in like 20 mile an hour wind. So I shot a...
By the way, just real quick, you messed up the joke because you said for the first time in 18 months. You should have said the first time in 28 months.
I saw it. Yeah. I knew it was coming. It probably is closer to 22 months, but it's whatever. I felt that in the moment, but I was just like, just keep it moving. Anyway, so like I've had the shanks like with my irons and lost complete confidence. Like I got as low as a 5 handicap, which was and that was without me being able to putt. Like I would always drive the ball well, play wedges, all that kind of stuff, and I just couldn't putt. Well, I learned how to putt, and then I got the shanks, and it completely destroyed like my last 2 years of golf. And I during the winter, I bought a bunch of range balls, and I've been hitting it home. In the last 2 weeks, I've literally hit 1,600 golf balls, and that's not counting during like any playing. So the first round where I really put it all together and I felt good going into it was this past Sunday. So I shot an 83 that felt like a 75, and here's my little reasoning behind that. It was 50 degrees. It was 20 mile an hour wind. We were playing at Elks, where I've never, even when I was better, shot a good round. The greens were insanely fast. They're actually the fastest greens I've ever played in my life, and I've played all across the country. And they had some pins in like ignorant positions, like on top of ridges where if you hit it 5 inches past, you go 18 feet down and then you're putting uphill going to it, so you have to hit it hard. So I shot 4 over on the front, and I did that while double bogeying 2 par 5s that I hit drives perfectly down the center of the fairway. Like, there's no reason I should have shot 4 over even on that. Anyway, we can run that into Scotty Scheffler if you want, because...
We can do Scotty Scheffler, but we still got to come back to the fatherly advice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm game with that. Let's go.
So, which one? Fatherly or Scotty? Which one do you want?
I want to go fatherly, because I had something happen today that I had some different fathers in my life react very differently. And I would like to get your opinion.
Okay.
And I don't think it was very hard, and I have calmed down significantly about this. My daughter was riding the bus back, and
from school?
Yes, and a second grader apparently slapped her on the cheek 3 times. And now I had Brooklyn doing it was kind of like that, but it's a second grade boy slapping my kindergarten daughter. So I just heard that, and my instinct was violence. That was my initial instinct, right? That was where my head went, and I left work 15 minutes early, and I drove home, made sure my daughter was okay and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I don't think this little boy, he's probably a great kid and everything like that. But what is it, if Willow in a couple years when she gets to kindergarten and you hear that news, what is your immediate reaction, do you think? Do you have any idea?
Well, I think my immediate reaction, because even now she's in preschool and it's hard, she can't put together, why things happen like Brooklyn can. Obviously,
Yeah.
But, like, I think my initial reaction's obviously just, are you okay? Like, check on them first.
Yeah.
I think I try to, especially in kindergarten, like, why? Why did he do that? Was, like, not that it's okay, and you have that conversation, but I think you find out why, and then if it's because he's a bully and he's beating me up, then that conversation becomes a lot different than, well, we were playing a game and blah, blah, blah.
Apparently, her and a couple other girls kept singing The Wheels on the Bus. So I was talking to some other dads and stuff, and it's like, you know, I have some other friends who have boys, and it's like, no, they taught their, like, if a woman, unless a woman has a knife and or gun and is trying to hurt you, anything else, it's like the only acceptable action, which is I've always said. It's like if Emily was trying to punch me, it's like, okay, like, I'm going to hug you and you're just not going to move until you're calmed down. Or I'm going to hold you down until, like, you're calmed down. Like, I'm not going to let you just punch me in the face. But at the same time, like, you never, like, I am, like, obviously, my wife has a knife and is trying to stab me, might catch a right hook, you know? Like, I'm just, like, I'm not going to let her just stab me.
Right. Yeah,
This is your cut process right now, and your edit process is just...
It's going to be rough.
I'm not even trying not to.
So what did you end up doing? Like
luckily the principal is one of my really good friends, and so I was just like, hey, just keep me on the loop on how everything goes. I talked. Brooklyn thought I was mad at her for some reason, and I was like, no, that's not the case. And we just talked and just loved on her and hugged her and just said, it's like, hey, next time that happens, like, you know, make sure you tell the teacher and stuff, because she didn't initially. She told, you know, so it's just, you know, it's just a teaching moment, and, you know, I trust the school. Luckily, she's at a good school, and I trust the school to handle it appropriately and make sure the action's taken care of. So, you know, I had some people, like, tell me, it's like, some of the people were like, I hope his dad can fight.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but then you're it's kind of counterproductive at that point, because you're saying, hey, he shouldn't have hit you. By the way, I'm going to hit you. You know, so it's counterproductive. So I don't know. Until you're in that moment, you can know what you're quote unquote supposed to do.
I was pretty calm, all things considered. Like, I didn't freak out. I didn't call Andy. I just sent him a text, just saying, it's like, hey, just keep him in the loop, you know, that kind of thing. And my main concern was, it's like, hey, is she okay? And she's fine. She's cool. She's very, very, she's very emotionally intelligent for her age. Having said that, she'll cry over anything, so she's also emotionally unstable. So,
well, and you also don't want it to be a thing that is recurring. So you have to.
Oh no! I mean, if it happens again, you know, if it happens again, you know.
So the fatherly advice, even though I thought that was good, but that's not, you know, those aren't the sound clips. That's a sincere Logan moment. I need the sound clip. Is what I need. So my fatherly advice that I'm coming to you, because Willa's doing better now, but she's going through some times where she didn't do so well. So, child doesn't eat what is made for dinner. Oh. So, like, is it like do you bribe? Do you make them go hungry? Do you force feed them? Do you let them snack on something? Okay, now I'm hungry. Well, do you let them get their favorite snack later?
Oh,
how do you handle
absolutely it? Not. Listen, I was recently at an event with 3 other men who all have boys. They're just slightly younger than Brooklyn. And they all were, now once again, boys, girls, different, a little bit older, but they all kept saying to me, it's like, I can't believe how well behaved your child is. But from, I will not, I think that it is better to be stern, but I don't have, I give her the Kathy look. That's all I have to do, and she knows. It's like that's it. Look. Yeah, I give her the Kathy look, and I'm like, or I just have to say, hey, in a dad voice, and she gets it. But I started that. I didn't let her get away from things. Even when she was very young, I tried to teach her. 2 years old, I'm trying to explain to her these things, even though that is a very young age. But that's how I have always done it personally. So, if Brooklyn was trying not to eat something, I have always made her, if I'm eating something, for example, like strip or, and I'm just like, here, try this. And if she's no, I was like, no, you're I don't think you understood. That was not a, would you like to try this? Go ahead and try this. And then what she doesn't understand is that I'll be like, good, isn't it? And she'll be crying and be like, yeah, really good. And I was like, oh, okay, that means you want more because it's so good. Yeah. So, no, the problem we actually had with Brooklyn was how slow she eats. She'll take an hour to eat a sandwich. And I'm just like, listen, you got 5 minutes to put that sandwich down, or you're done for the night. Like, that's it. You're finished. So, no, what is my answer? It is I would force feed, and I'm like, I got this advice after Brooklyn on how to get them to sleep in their own bed and stuff. And what does everybody say? Let them cry. Put them in there. Let them cry. Let them scream. I feel the same way about a lot of things. So it's like, no, I'm going to force feed you the food. You're going to cry and scream, but that's okay because you're just going to, like, what is their crying and screaming trying to do? Their crying and screaming is trying to get out of the situation or call for help.
Correct.
I'm trying to make them realize there is no hope. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. There's no getting out of it. Yeah, no, there's no hope. No matter what you do, this is going to happen. You know what I mean? And then if it's to the point where it's annoying to me to continue to try to do this, it's like, okay, go to bed. And I'm hungry later. It's like, too bad. And I have the same stuff. Would you like me to make the same stuff? No. Can I have a cookie? No, absolutely not. No. You know who gets cookies? People who eat their dinner.
People
like, that's who gets
plate,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, you should have seen me last night. We were watching, I was trying to instill, and I don't know how you instill it, but I was trying to instill insane competitiveness in my daughter. So we were just like watching Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant clips and stuff like that, and like listening to them talk, and I'm like, they're insane. Winning is all that matters. Winning. Just trying to brainwash her at her young age, So no, that's my thing. Force feed, let them throw their tantrum, or
no bribe. Like, oh, well, if you do finish, you can have a cookie.
Yeah, well, yeah, she can have daddy snuggles, but then that's just stuff that she's already gonna have. No. Oh, daddy snuggles is the best, dude. 7:30 to 8 every single night. We get on the couch, lay down, watch some TV together,
dude,
watch some Mr. Beast, some Dude Perfect.
Like change diaper.
Yeah,
I don't mind change diapers. And
haven't changed one since that last conversation. Just
Meg will start to do it.
Still at 8.
Maggie will start to do it, and she'll be like, Daddy, no Daddy. Or, like, she'll walk over to play, and she'll be like, Daddy play. So I'll go over and play, and then, like, she'll, like, just X, Y, Z of all things. So then, like, when we're tucking her in at night, one of us usually lay down with her because she doesn't like to fall asleep by herself, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are like, well, as you're saying, like, let them cry it out, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also under the, like, how long does she actually need us in this situation? Because eventually, like you're saying, you're going to pick up your kid for the last time. Mm-hmm. Eventually, she's going to lay down in bed. She's going to be like, see ya. And that's going to be heartbreaking for me. So I don't mind. But my point to this is, like cuddling her at night, it's mommy. And I'm like, man, like, I give you everything. I do diapers, I do playtime, and then mommy gets the cuddles.
So I get the cuddles on the couch, but mommy puts her to bed.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different thing. Now, when daddy puts her to bed, it's probably because when daddy puts her to bed, it's a much different routine. Mommy will lay in there until Brooklyn is asleep because, and literally mommy will admit this, she's too lazy and too comfortable to get up. Like, that's literally... And she'll fall asleep sometimes, and it's like the most annoying thing in the world. It's like, okay, well, I guess I just don't get to spend any time with you, and it's like, whatever. And so, but
I have my wife tonight.
Daddy will, like, our thing is we'll read a book, or we'll watch, like, a video on his phone. Like, she likes Dude Perfect and Mr. Beast and that kind of stuff. We watch that a lot. And then we say prayers, and then, like, big hug, kiss, okay, love you, good night, peace. Like, that's it. That's the end of it.
And she doesn't, like, cry or anything like that? She just goes to bed?
Brooklyn hasn't in the longest time. Scarlett is weird, dude. Scarlett is literally, it's time for bed, she's tired, you put a binky on her, you put her on your shoulder, you turn the fan on, you turn the light off, you lay her down, and it's over. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, Scarlett also is, I'm pretty sure, going to have, like, night terrors or something, because she literally talks and screams in her sleep. So
Yeah,
that's a little weird.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'll be dead asleep, and it'll just be like, Cookie! And I'm just like, Jesus. And I'm just like... And it's like, that's it. Like, I'm up for the night.
Like, I'm not going back to sleep. Yeah, I'm
I
awake.
had like, my wife explained what it was, but I had a paranormal activity moment. I woke up at 3 a.m. the other night, couldn't go to sleep. It was Monday, that's why we didn't record. Or it was Sunday night, technically, Monday morning, so that's why we didn't record on Monday. I was done, right? So... I'm laying there at 3, and I'm like trying to go back to bed, and just every now and then, dude, like I would just hear like a bang, like a hardcore bang, like somebody, like, and I'm looking because sometimes like I have cats and they'll jump from a high place and stuff like that.
Right.
They're both asleep on the couch next to me, and I'm looking around, I'm looking outside, I'm looking downstairs, like, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm going to have to leave this house and never come back and take, like, we're out of here now.
Leave your wife and kids.
Oh, yeah. No, because, listen, the paranormal activity, the wife kills the husband. Like, that's how it works. Like, that's
true.
my biggest... You know, I say the biggest... The scariest thing that human beings do that you never think about, don't think is weird, is you fall asleep with another person in a bed next to you. Because at any point, my wife could wake up in the middle of the night, slide out of bed, and kill me. One night, bam, it's over. To the third. Done.
Dude, you know most murders are, like, murder of love, passion of love. Like, that's, it's not like anything else. Drug, gang, that's number one, is love. Murder of love.
No, but even like, when we roomed together,
what I'm saying is, Logan, watch out. Emily's going to wake up at some point.
Yeah. No,
Emily's going to get it.
Like, when we roomed together, my door was locked every single night. So, like, I have to hear you coming in the door. Like, when I am at home alone, I have locked doors all over the house.
Absolutely.
I lock the bedroom door. Why
wouldn't you?
Exactly. Like,
dude, I'm such a spook. It's unbelievable.
Oh, so anyway, what I found out, because my daughter is a psychopath like me and we sleep in the corner of a room, we don't sleep in the middle, that occasionally she kicks the wall at night. Yeah. And that was what it was. My wife told me that the next morning. I was completely fine. But I'm not joking. When I was like, I didn't go back to sleep. I was just like, what's going on?
So 3 a.m. you think some stuff's going down and you don't go check on your kids?
No, I didn't check on. No, my kids were fine. Like, hold on. It would have had to have happened in the moment for like when I was in there, and it only happened like 3 times over the course of 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
dude. I'll tell you what though. This is another fear. You get in the shower, I always lock that door. Always lock that door. Friggin', I just imagine seeing the shower. Oh, nobody's coming in there and killing me when I'm one of those vulnerable. It's like when you're you're pooping or something like that. That's the worst way to die. That would be the worst way ever to die. Somebody coming and just stabbing you while you're like, what are you going to do? You try to fight back with your pants around your ankles? No, but this is funny. Emily just told me that my mom reached out to her and said, are they going to put out an episode this week?
Dude, our fans want us.
Said that we should put out something saying we're skipping a week, and she was like, they're going to do it. It's fine. Yeah,
so we do apologize that it was late this week. That's partially my fault, partially Logan's fault, because we are a team, even though I'm sure Logan has some blame somewhere, but
Jay said to me, I have to do it Sunday, I can't do it Monday, and then Sunday came and he couldn't do it, and then Monday came, but yeah.
Dude, as you've seen how busy I've been recently, but...
I'm building a home.
With your bare hands?
Yes. I didn't know if you knew this. I actually quit my job so that I can full-time. I'm doing every single step by myself. No other crew. There's not going to be another set of hands.
I can't wait to see those windows.
It's a cardboard box. It's a cardboard box. That's what we're living in.
With windows.
With windows. A lot of windows. It's barely even a box.
All right, let's hit the NFL draft real quick before we hit the Scotty Scheffler. Caleb Williams going to be the number 1 pick. 4 of the top 5 picks are going to be quarterbacks. They say Williams, or obviously Williams. Daniels out of LSU will be 2. May out of UNC will be 3. Harrison
to the Patriots, right?
No, I forget who has 3. Harrison to the Cardinals at 4. I'll look it up. And McCarthy to the Patriots at 5.
Oh, I thought the Pats had 3 and were getting May.
No, they're getting McCarthy at 5.
Well, I'm dumb.
Now my question.
I'm looking right at it. Patriots have 3.
Who's got 5?
The Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So my question, and again, you and I aren't. By the way, to further prove your point here, so I'm giving you props here. Did you see what Bengal requested a trade today?
I saw T. Higgins did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. Trey Hendrickson was today.
Yeah, dude, there.
Do you know why?
Money.
Yeah, long-term financial commitment. He feels not there.
Yeah.
So what
you
you said.
Pay Burrow all the money. You cannot build a team. You have to be Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady to become a dynasty type situation if you pay a quarterback that much money.
Well, yeah, but then you can also argue they had Andy Reid and Bill Belichick. So which one's more important?
Bill Belichick and Andy Reid. Andy Reid is. You would argue Andy Reid has more success outside of, their star quarterback than Bill Belichick ever had.
I agree. Look what Bill Belichick's done the last 3 years.
Nothing. Look what he did before Tom Brady. They were just
There's a reason they got the 3rd pick. There's a reason they got the 3rd pick.
Yeah, exactly.
So my question is, just real quick, they say Williams is significantly better than everybody else. Like, he's like the number 1 pick, no doubt. Which and Patrick Mahomes kind of in the same situation. Like, he didn't win national championships in college, and neither did Williams.
Neither did Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers only won 1, but I'm not saying
Tom Brady. I meant national championships in college.
Correct.
Yeah.
But my thing is, he didn't go on to win a bunch of NFL championships.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying pick McCarthy over Williams. That's not what I'm saying.
I
just don't understand why.
Pick.
I don't understand why Williams is such regarded so high, especially with all the other issues you see along with it.
I was getting ready to say all that I keep hearing, and I haven't been paying very much attention to it, is that Williams' stock is going down. That he has off the field very, I want to say, diva, I guess, tendencies.
Yeah, it's not even my point is he wants partial ownership in whoever drafts him. Man.
That's the dumbest thing in the
it's insane. NFL's going to survive without him. That's what he needs to understand.
Dude, the player empowerment in sports, period, which continues to be on the rise across all sports, is absolutely insane. Now, having said that, I will say that players in general have disadvantages because they do not truly play in a open market as every other individual who does their job in America does in a capitalistic society. There is literally a cap on what they can make, and that's really bad for the best of them, right?
Right.
Because you can argue, what is 2010 LeBron James make with no cap? The answer is what you probably see more in soccer and football, where there is no cap, and even baseball and stuff like that, which is a much less popular sport. And it goes the same for the NFL. What is Patrick Mahomes worth on an open market?
Yeah.
Literally, is it 100? What is Messi worth? What has Messi gotten paid? $400 million? That is so significantly more than any contract that you ever see in the NBA or the NFL. It is absolutely...
Yeah, it is. But again, I think you go into it, and a lot of athletes, that's their goal, to get there, no matter what. So you're thankful for the opportunity to be there, so you kind of go where you're drafted because that's your shot, and I understand that. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, what other career in the world dictates where you have to live?
For 4 years, by the way. For 4 years. And who you're like, I think it's more than that. I think we hurt talent by giving the worst teams the number one pick, because the worst teams normally have bad coaches, bad general managers, bad everything. Like, they're the bad teams for a reason. It's not just because they have the worst players. Like, there are systemic issues. Like, good coaches make bad teams decent teams so they don't get the bottom pick. And good general managers will general manage their way and not pay insane contracts into decent teams. So it's about organization. So it's like you could go work for, I'm trying to think of, you could go work for Titleist or Top Flight. Now this is it's like everybody would want to go to Titleist.
Right.
You know what I mean? And by the way, I would want to, like, for me, like, let's say I'm going into the NBA draft. I would rather get picked late and make less money to go to the best spot, because I trust them to develop me and put me in the best spot to be the best, and I'll make more money in the long term. Like, Wemby kind of got the perfect little thing there where it's like, no, the Spurs are a great organization who just happened to be at the bottom. So it's like, that's the perfect scenario. But no, it doesn't do Caleb Williams, or like the perfect example of this was, they said that Carr, I don't remember whether it was his David
Carr?
No, it was David,
Carr.
his older brother.
The one that went to the Texans.
And what did he do for his entire career? Just got murdered. His offensive line is terrible as an expansion team. And he's literally, his career is being sacked away from him. Literally every time. And that's not his fault.
I heard this in passing one time, and, like, I kind of just heard it and just went on with my life. But, like, as I've revisited the conversation, it was two guys just sitting there. And I just happened to hear at that time one of the guys say, the worst place to be on NFL is on a mediocre team. And it's really true, because you never get to go to the playoffs, but you never get a franchise-changing pick. You're always year in and year out on that medium team. Stop.
Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Giannis Antetokounmpo was a 15th pick. The Jokic was announced in the 2nd round during a Taco Bell commercial.
Hey, just real quick, I saw something that was like Tom Brady's a 6th-round pick, and, like, I don't know, it was like, it put like 5 or 6.
Where was Mahomes drafted, by the way?
He was pretty high up, wasn't he?
I don't think he's as high as you would like. I don't think he's in the top 10. Yeah, but he's not in the top 10.
Yeah, but being a 1st-round pick means you're one of the best 32
players. I know, but what I'm saying is
world.
A mediocre team could have drafted him. That's my point.
10th.
10th. Yeah.
In 2017.
You could have. How many teams make the playoffs? 6 on each side. Yeah, I mean, you could be a bottom 10 team, which, I mean, there's only how many teams are there in the NFL? I'm stupid.
But the point of that is, like, you definitely have a better shot at hitting the number 1 pick than you do the 6th-round pick of Tom Brady. There's a reason they talk about Tom Brady being great, because that never happens. But my point is, on this, like, they were like, Tom Brady is, like, great, and, like, he was a late-round steal. And, like, it gave... Let's see if I can pull it up. Because
I'm looking up something real quick.
I want you to give these guys, like, your full attention here.
I will.
Is this it? Yeah, okay, so Tom Brady was a round 6. Julian Edelman was round 7. Like, he made a good career for himself. Richard Sherman was round 5. Jason Kelsey, round 6. Stephon Diggs, round 5. Tyreek Hill, round 5. George Kittle, round 5. Okay, so what would you say? I mean, obviously Tom Brady's the best of that, but what would you say about all those names that are on that list of round 5 or later?
I have bad news.
What?
I was looking up something to prove a point, and I stopped listening after Julian Edelman. I apologize.
Okay, so listen.
Yeah.
So it's round 5 or later on all these, so I'll just name them quick.
Yep.
Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Richard Sherman, Jason Kelsey, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, and George Kittle. All round 5 or later. So what would you say, like, the common on those guys are? Like, would you say they're pretty good?
Oh, yeah, they're all great.
Potentially Hall of Famers, obviously.
Yeah,
like
I would say Edelman's the low end of...
Correct. That's what I would say, too. This is Yahoo Sports. So they put all those names together, and they have one more name on it that they, like, try to slide in. Brock Purdy. And I'm like, dude... Nah. I was like, come on. You can't name these potential legends and then just...
Brock Purdy and Julian Edelman are kind of on the same, like, kind of tier, right?
Julian Edelman just had such a good career because, I mean, he was in the right... he was in the
greatest quarterback
situation
of all time, yeah.
But, like, the fact that, like, putting those potential legends on there and then being like, Brock Purdy, like, come on.
So...
Stop.
You'll find this funny. So I was looking it up because I just looked up 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time. So we obviously know Tom Brady was drafted late. Montana is an 82nd pick, which I had no idea. Let's see. Mahomes is 3 on here. He's 10, so he's as early. Otto Graham, nobody knows who that is. Peyton was 2, so that's probably about as high as they are going to come. Roger Staubach, I'm honestly not sure. Brett Favre and Steve Young.
Brett Favre.
I know Steve Young wasn't. Steve Young came from another league, didn't he?
The crazy thing about Brett Favre is, or Steve Young, is that him and Montana were like back to back. Like, imagine those years.
Oh, yeah.
As a 49ers fan. Brett Favre was around 2. Pick 33.
Yeah.
First round. First
Dan Marino was high. John Elway was very high. I don't know about Drew Brees. So that's kind of my point. It's like out of those, it's like half of the 10 greatest of all time are probably drafted outside the top 10. So no, once again, I still think it really does come back to GM, scouting, and stuff like that. But that position is the hardest thing.
But you're
in
saying
my
top
opinion.
10 of all time. Those aren't every year, and that's the point to what that guy was saying. He's saying every year you're not going to. Maybe you do, and that's fine, and then you're not a mediocre team anymore. But more often than not, you're going to get a mediocre player. Not mediocre, but not a franchise-changing player.
There's
15th pick.
I think the things, and it's really funny. I think a really great general manager, and I believe it's Sam Presti, who is the general manager for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who has literally drafted his way into 2 amazing young cores 2 times now over the course of 12 years, basically.
Yeah.
He says it's like you look for. His thing is I look for guys who were winners in high school and college, and I look for guys who are insanely competitive and gym rats. Like, that matters more than anything else almost. And then obviously, like, you know, you take guys who, you know, I think of a Jonathan Kuminga who has the athletic tools, and it's like, if this guy's a gym rat, he's going to develop a lot of the other stuff because athletically he has what other people do not.
You cannot teach height, and you cannot teach athleticism.
That's why I'm a huge fan of athletic 6'7" wings. Like, that's always my kryptonite. You give me a 6'7", 6'6" wing. I actually also am going to go on a hot, like, you know, so the thing was before LeBron came along that Michael Jordan had the perfect basketball body, right? I still don't know that that's not the case because a lot of people say that LeBron, for example, and I think this is a great time to transition into playoffs.
See, I think with our 90-minute time crunch, I think we need, because next week LeBron could be done, and I think that's the time to do it.
Well, I have to talk about what happened the other night, and I want to hit it this week while it just happened.
With the Nuggets down 20?
Yes.
Okay.
So, our player empowerment thing in the NBA, this was started by LeBron James, so boo-hoo on you. And I mean that so, like, you know, Kevin Durant signed a 4-year contract last year, signed a new 4-year contract. And 2 months later was asking for a trade. That's unacceptable to me. Like, I don't care. Like, don't sign the contract. Like, that's your other option. And it's like an obligation on the team. So I'm going to get to this LeBron thing. Let me make sure my statistic is right, and you fact check me. Over the last 2 seasons, the Lakers have shot 600 more free throws than the second-ranked free throw shooting team.
All right.
Okay? 600. Like, it's 900 to 300.
NBA team stats. If you need to go ahead.
So I say all that to say this. You were up 20 in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The game prior to that game, the Nuggets shot the least amount of free throws that a playoff team has ever shot and won. And they still beat you then. You shot, I think the difference was the Nuggets shot 3 more free throws, which, by the way, was the first time in the last 10 games that they have shot more free throws than the Lakers. You had a 20-point lead, and you have the audacity, because you can't just lose like you've lost the previous 10 times to them, like you got swept last year. You have the audacity, after you had a 20-point lead and a wide-open shot to win the game. And what do you mention? The refs screwed you. You cannot, like, people who this is their favorite basketball player, and that's their GOAT, and he does those things, that's automatically disqualifying. Like, if that's the type of basketball player you like, I probably would rather you not watch basketball and not be a fan. And frankly, I think that you should never be allowed to watch basketball again. Like,
taking basketball away from them.
Here's the very scary thing to me, and I think you're going to continue to see this. Michael Jordan set the next group of people, right? And you see a lot of people, Kobe Bryant was kind of that next iteration. And, in the Redeem Team thing in 2008, when Kobe was still the best player in the league, you hear how much he changed LeBron, D. Wade, and all those guys. There's a whole generation who's growing up watching LeBron James, and they're already, in the league, sadly, a lot of them. And if you have problems with a lot of the things in the NBA today, like the fact that the All-Star Game is a joke, was the All-Star Game a joke when Kobe and Jordan were playing in it early on?
They wanted to win.
No, they wanted to win because they're psychopaths. And no matter what you think, and by the way, if you look at the winningest players outside of LeBron James in the last, since 1990-ish, right? There's a 24-year time period. Jordan has 6, Kobe has 5, Tim Duncan has 5, Steph Curry has 4, right? That's 5, that's 20. 20 of the last 34 years, right?
Yeah.
All of those guys, Tim Duncan included, he might not have been as vocal and stuff like that in the limelight. Psychopath. Steph Curry, psychopath competitive. There is a trait. And I'm not saying that LeBron is not psychopath competitive, but he's not on the same level as Jordan and Kobe, or I would even say Steph or Tim Duncan. He's not on the level of a Kevin Garnett, anything. I'm not going to give my very detailed breakdown of why I actually think Michael is the GOAT, because that is for another time. But I think for all the good LeBron James has done for basketball, there's a small argument that he's also hurt the game almost as bad because of the player empowerment, which I don't care what anyone says, he was a very big factor of, and frankly, his just some of his behavior. Now, having said that, he's a pretty good role model. It seems like now. You know what? We thought Tiger Woods was too until he got caught.
Innocent until proven guilty, Logan.
100%. And, there's definitely, LeBron definitely never did steroids when he went to Miami and gained, a ton of weight. He definitely never did that. We have no proof. or EPO to have a higher. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a lot of those type of things. He seems like a great businessman, but I don't know the way that, you know, there's a great clip where, you know, LeBron's like, yeah, that moment right there, I think that's when I became the greatest player of all time. And
it was when they came back from 3-1.
Whatever. That literally is a sweep. Like, you think they were 73-9 because they were bad, because Cleveland, like, no, Steph Curry slipped on the floor in the first round of the playoffs. There was reports, which, once again, LeBron has this clutch media that covers up everything he does and spins everything. When I read the reports of Steph Curry, who doesn't have that, and they said his knee was swollen after every game like a cantaloupe, right? Like, just insane. And he was playing through that. And by the way, playing very well. Bogut broke his leg. I'm not going to go into it all. They don't win that. Like, they're not better than that team. They might have won that series. They're not better than that team. They were healthier than that team. Like, that's all that is.
Here's what I've gathered on the first couple games of each series of the playoffs.
Anthony Edwards is him.
Well, don't get ahead of me. One, for the first time in like 10, 11 years, the home team, not the favorite team, the home team won every game of the first round, which I was thinking, like, I'm sure somebody parlayed that. Like, that's got to be a pretty decent little parlay.
Oh, that's a crazy parlay. Yeah. You're guessing what?
16 games.
Yeah. That's
no,
insane.
you're right. Eight games. Eight
Yeah.
games. Two, and you already just kind of put it onto it. At what point do we sit here and say Anthony Edwards is the best player in the NBA?
Oh, we're far from that. We're very far from that.
I don't think we're real far from it.
We're very far from that. So Jokic is one. Here's a stat that I heard. There have been 8 games in the history of the NBA where it's 25, 20, and 10, right? Jokic has 4 of them.
Yeah.
He is on another level. He is probably as good. You could make an argument that he is as good of an offensive player that there has ever existed in the NBA. And I say that because of the way that he does everything else. And, you know, people will be like, that's insane, but at the same time, you know, he doesn't get points for setting screens at what he does at an insanely high level. That is a very big part of their offense, right?
Yeah.
And then I don't think Edwards is Luka yet. I just don't. I don't think he's there.
I'm not saying he's there. I'm saying I think it's happening pretty soon.
Couple more years.
I would say 3.
He's
what I was going to say.
I think you can say that he's maybe already the best American-born player. I think that's...
Yeah.
I'd still take Giannis over him.
Well, Giannis is Greek, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking about players,
okay.
but
overall.
Like... Yeah. Like, you know, somebody would probably
Greek
say
freak,
you should take Joel Embiid. I don't know that I would, but that's just me.
He just doesn't, like, obviously he's really good.
I don't know that
there's
he's
just
better
something about him that I'm like, I don't know if I would build my team around him.
I don't think he's better than Steph yet for American-born players.
Yeah, but I think that happens within 3 years.
No. It could be as soon as next year because Steph is getting older, but it's like we forget it was 2 years ago that Steph put on one of, in my opinion, the greatest playoff runs that we've ever seen. And you know,
it put him in the conversation of one of the best ever. I thought what he did a couple years ago.
The only player in the top 20, in my opinion, that is under 6'6".
Steph, Edwards is only like 6'4", 6'5" too, right?
I think he's 6'5" at least. I'm hoping he is because if he's 6'4", I'm going to be down on him. You got to be at least 6'5". You got to be within an inch of Michael.
You can't literally just sit here and say in the next 3 years he might be the best. He might be the best American player right now.
He won't be
6'4", I'm erasing everything.
Let's see. The Edwards has grown a couple of inches in the last year since the draft and is now more like 6'6". Yep, he might be the next Michael. You know what's crazy about him?
Is he was body type that you said? Because he's probably 220.
He's a little, but he's like stockier. He's like
he's probably 220.
Yeah, he
like
was
220, 225.
He was a football player. Was his like thing, like, and he just happened to be one of those athletic guys. He's like Russell Westbrook if Russell Westbrook was like basketball smart. Like, that's what he reminds me of. Like, you know, and you know, Russell Westbrook, you know, 6'4". That's what killed him, clearly.
All right, I got one more.
God, I want to give my LeBron and
next week he could be out.
What do you think? What did you think when you heard that? Like,
I don't know. I mean, it almost becomes background noise anymore because it seems like everybody has an excuse of why. And I think, again, you and I ref for a year. Remember that one time where I didn't show up? Because I had like a job interview and you had to do it by yourself.
Last time I ever refed. It was a terrible experience. It's the first time I ever actually refed a game. And it was a doubleheader, Georgetown Eastern, who hate each other. I'm still mad at you for that. Actually, I'm mad that you brought it up because now I'm mad at you.
What I'm saying is you and I understand how hard it is to be
so
referees.
Yeah, I always feel so bad for those guys.
So the fact that people think, especially today, because everything's on camera and everything's replayed and everything's just drugged through the mud, through sports shows, talk shows, whatever else. But the fact that people think that they should get it 100% correct.
You're psychopath.
And the excuse is like, well, they're the best at what they do. They're the best at what they do. Okay, Steph Curry's the best person that's ever shot a 3-point shot ever.
Misses
he made
half.
Every one.
Misses half. Yeah.
So the fact that they think that like these people or these referees should get every single call correct every game is insane to me. And I think that that's part of the game. That human error is part of the game.
I do too.
But what I also believe with it is more often than not, it evens out. If one team gets 20 bad calls a game, it's more than likely the other team got 18, 19, 21, or 22. Like, it's so close that it does not make a difference at the end of the game, especially when you're up 20 points in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And I once again, dude, you want your great players to be better than that. We have examples of what great leaders, and it's been passed down, and the gap between... You know, so it's so funny. So we broke ground on the land, and when we bought the land, I had the same reaction as when we broke ground. Like, it's a Kobe Bryant thing. Like, I've been telling my wife. She's like, "Aren't you so happy and excited?" I'm like, "What should be happy about? Job's not finished." He's like, "You're up 2-0. What should be happy about? Job's still not finished. Like, I'll be happy when I move into the house." You know what I mean? So it's like. That you go from that mentality, I'm up 2-0 in the finals, and I won't smile because we haven't completed our goal, to I blow a 20-point lead, I always get more calls than everybody else. I had a wide open shot to win the game where you had 30 seconds to look around and take your time, spin the ball a few times, and your immediate reaction, I can't believe how bad the officiating was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good look. I agree.
The lack of self-awareness. Like, that's what it must be. Like, how does he... Like,
the last thing I'll say about the playoffs, and I don't think this story's true, but it came out, and I think it's hilarious. It's one of the funniest stories I've heard in a long time, is Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero had to be separated because they were fighting.
I heard that, yeah.
But I think that part's true. But the next part, I don't think is true, but like somewhere in the universe, I hope it is true, because what is said to have happened is they were fighting and they were mouthing off to each other, and like Butler was saying to Hero, like, 9 for 27, you're terrible. 9 for 27, 9 for 27, you're terrible. And then Hero got mad and swung at him, at Butler, and he missed. Like, he dodged it. Yeah, 9 for 28.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 9 for 26, and he swung. He said 9 for 27. Yeah, I heard that story too. I heard that story as well.
I don't know if it's true, but I really hope it's true, because that is one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time.
I think it's hilarious. Dude, there's Jimmy Butler, like...
He's the psycho. You want to talk about competitive psychos. He is that guy.
Have you looked at Jimmy Butler and a picture of Michael Jordan side by side?
Is it the same guy?
there is, and well, no, have you not heard that rumor?
What rumor?
Oh wow, you've never heard this. So listen, I think it's pretty safe to say that we know that Michael Jordan, during his playing career, led a very fun,
promiscuous life. Yeah.
Right. Jimmy Butler doesn't know who his dad was, and doesn't and it's like the rumor is like the thought that is one of Michael Jordan's not illegitimate children. And if
illegitimate kids.
Yeah, dude, if you look at them side by side, it's actually like oh yeah, no, he looks more like Michael Jordan than Michael Jordan's kids look like Michael Jordan.
He would look like he looks more like Michael Jordan's kids doing an impression of Michael Jordan's kids than Michael Jordan's kids do.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. But that's the type of person. I would be happy to build my team around Jimmy Butler. But once again,
he's got that dog in him.
Oh my gosh, dude! So actually, you know what my biggest red flag on Edwards is right now? It's not him being 6'4", because he grew, thank God. Well, my biggest red flag on Edwards is how he acted in an All-Star game. I hated it.
Yeah,
I hated it so much. No, I wanted him to. No, they had to ice out Jordan in his first All-Star game. They had to ice him out.
That's fine. He's not Jordan.
No, they're saying he kind of, that's, we're not saying he's Jordan. You're right, but he's, Kobe did a good Jordan imitation. Edwards is looking at a Jordan imitation.
All right. We'll see.
He's not getting there. Let's calm down. Jordan in his second season averaged 37 a game. Let's all relax.
All right, so a story that I was thinking about with you and me, we both have a story which I kind of want to visit here.
Oh no!
With they're separate stories.
Oh Lord!
They're to do with elementary musicals, elementary plays, if you will. I want to hear the story of when were you Thomas Jefferson? Is that who you were?
Benjamin Franklin.
Okay, so what happened?
I'll send you the picture so you can pop it up on screen because I have the picture on my phone of me and Jess. Jess is George Washington.
Okay, George Washington, you were Ben Franklin. Got it. So what happened?
Do you know and you're just trying to get me to say it on here?
Yeah, because I have a story too that you're going to like that you probably haven't heard before.
Okay, so I've been called the songbird of my generation by those who have heard me sing. And that songbird died in, I think it was 5th grade. I don't think I was that old. It was probably closer to 3rd. I'm really hoping it was closer to 3rd. I had the only solo singing part in the entire play. Everybody else I was the songbird of my generation. All right. Our parents were responsible for getting us our outfits, so I just want to point that out. And I was in tights.
Oh, I'm sure Tracy put it together.
Oh, I was a chubby kid too. So I'm a chubby kid in tights. And dude, I had this song down to a pad. I can still sing the chorus right now. And I get up on stage and I knew every word to the song. Every word to the song. And by the way, in my advanced years, could have played it off. At 3rd grade, panic. 3rd grade panic. After the chorus, after the first verse and the chorus, forgot the second verse.
Yeah.
And instead of just, I was like, kind of on stage. I was like, dang it. And I stopped my foot. And then I just kept singing the chorus. And I sang the chorus 3 more times.
Love it.
And the piano guy reacted appropriately. But, I think the crowd was done hearing me sing that. So got off stage, started to obviously, bawling my eyes out.
Right.
I was very, very embarrassed and sad. And we went back to the music room after the play. And this girl, Annie McAlpine, I think was her name, came up to me and she said, by the way, the chorus was, I've got my work, I've got success. I've got my little printing press. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do.
Okay, so then you're at the music room.
And I go to the music room. Annie McAlpine walks up to me, and I'm sure she was trying to be nice, but my reaction was just perfect. Bawling my eyes out, in tights, in a wig, dressed as Benjamin Franklin. She goes, Logan, I know everybody's telling you ruined the play, but it really wasn't that bad. And I literally turned around with her with just no sense of irony or anything like that and just said, no one told me I ruined the play.
Until just now.
Yeah. No, I didn't say until just now. I was just looking at her like, no one told me.
No, I'm saying nobody said it to you until just now.
So no, I'm glad we brought that up. I'm glad you had that in your notes and didn't bring that up.
Because Jess was on stage with you at that scene.
No, I was the only person.
He's mouthing the words.
No, he's not.
Dude, he wasn't singing with you. Nobody was singing with you.
He's not on stage.
Saying, okay.
When's the last time you watched it?
Probably 20 years ago.
Okay, so you're sure about this. Traumatizing moment of my life. You watched the video.
Because Jess is mouthing the words with you, and then you mess up, and Jess freaks out too at the same time that you roll into the chorus. Jess panics for you in that moment. Trust me, dude.
God, I actually wish that I saw that now. Actually, and now that the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure it was 5th grade because that's when Jess and I started hanging out all the time.
There you go. So my traumatizing musical.
Why'd you bring that up? I'm gonna have a bad night now. I'm gonna go cry because I ruined the play.
So we did the Three Little Pigs for our musical. Now, if you're going for any of the pigs, if you're going for any of those, Three Little Pigs, who are you going after? Who do you want to be?
You want to be the one of the brick.
Absolutely. We're same page. So that's where I'm at. I think, again, 3rd, 4th grade, whatever it was.
It's a psycho competitor, and we want to beat the wolf.
We want to be, exactly. So, the music teacher, I cannot think of her name right now. Was it Glenn? No, I forget. Anyway, so, Miss Smith, I remember her last name. So, she takes us out to the hallway to try out for the straw, the pig with straw. Don't want to be that.
No.
So what do? I butcher everything, butcher the words, singing off key. Not that I was a great singer, but I was singing off key on purpose. Whatever.
On purpose.
Yeah. I was that was actually it. So then I go back in. I'm like, all right, I only got to do that one more time for sticks, and then really bring it for the bricks, right? Mm-hmm. What I didn't know at the time was everybody who qualified for the straw then got to try to do the sticks.
I was literally, as soon as you said it, I was like, oh, so you got disqualified from that initially.
So then you work your way up. I didn't know that. So not only did I not get to try out for the sticks,
you weren't a pig
or the bricks. I was a pig because everybody that wasn't good enough to be in a play sat on the side of the stage in the pig pen.
Yeah.
So at least
Serves
your traumatizing
right.
story is you had a solo act, dude. I was in the pig pen with all the pigs that didn't get to be the main pigs.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Not nearly as traumatizing because, I did it in front of all of my parents and my parents' friends and my friends.
The pig pen.
I was in tights.
I'm sure Tracy invited the whole crew. Everybody.
I was in tights. I have that picture for the rest of my life.
Oh man, that's so funny. All right, let's get to our draft. We're doing it sports related tonight. We're doing sports related because none of our drafts have been sports related so far.
I actually think this is a bad idea and didn't think we should come up with another draft on the fly. I think we could do it fairly easy. You know what we could do? Very easy.
Something I thought we could do is Will Ferrell movies.
my thought, because we did superheroes, would be villains. We could just follow that up back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, but you just, dude, we gotta wait a second for villains, because you like the people were all, and I think they thought fight. Like, your team was going to beat my team.
I tried to make that very clear. You're kind of bad, or I don't know if you're doing it intentionally, of editing to make me look worse than I actually am. Like, a lot of these things, like, I'm like, I'll add context.
Dude, 100%.
I'll add context. Well, like, you just what'd you put up just a second ago? What was the one you put up just a second ago?
It was of, God, I don't remember. I just put it on Facebook tonight.
You literally just put it on Facebook. There's a moment, right? But, like, I'm literally being intentionally...
Oh, pets. It was about the pet dying.
Yeah.
And you were being sarcastic. But you said 2 seconds after, like, obviously I'm kidding, and I cut it out.
Why? Do you want, like... What are you doing?
Dude, what sells? Logan... telling the joke and then saying not really, or people thinking...
Let the joke hit, and then it was like, I'm just kidding. Like, the joke still hits.
I don't think people need to know you're joking. I think people need to think that's seriously Logan.
People I know see this. People have brought this up to me at work, and my customers that I work with have brought things up. No, do not make me look worse than I already am. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, I could not edit it all. Like, there's a fine line.
Listen, I think I've behaved some things very appropriately that you've edited, so...
So we need to do Will Ferrell movies. I think we both know Will Ferrell movies well enough.
Yeah,
or at least we can get it.
Yeah.
Or what I was going to do, and we can avoid sports, because I guess sports. I was going to do
what was the sports?
Our NBA team starting 5, 1 versus 1.
Is it all time?
Yeah, all time.
Okay, actually, so I already have my 5. Clearly, but you're obviously
draft them. Yeah.
Well, I won't do it unless I have the number 1 pick.
So whoever gets 1 gets Jordan, and then we just pick the other 9 at that point.
Yeah. But what I'm going to say is I'm fine with that. Is it an all-time, and is it... So I have a 5 that I would want to see play together, which, by the way, Jokic is working his way into that. And then I have a 5 of, I think this team is borderline unbeatable.
Yeah.
So are we going in a pickup game?
Yeah.
Let's
your 5
do that.
versus my 5.
Oh, this is fun. Dude, let's just do both. We can knock out both in 10 minutes.
No, we can't.
Yes, we can.
No, we can't.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Come on. We got it. Let's have 2 drafts. We'll have double the content to put out. We'll do that, Will Ferrell.
Okay. Let me get the Will Ferrell on. Which one do you want to do first?
Basketball, because I'm ready for that. I'm very, very ready. And we are going to win the game, which, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your team versus my team.
Okay.
Now, how do we do this? Do we flip? I got a coin flipping app. Do you want to do that?
So I'll take Jordan as my first pick.
So you're not doing this it's... Look, can you see this?
I don't want to have a team without Michael Jordan.
Dude,
you get 2 and 3.
Give me 4 and 5. Give me 4 in a row.
No, are you crazy? I'll give you 3 in a row. I'll give you 3 in a row.
No, then we're
3 in a row?
You act like I don't want Jordan. Like I'm
3 in a row. Come on.
Okay, fine. I'll take Jordan. You get 3 in a row.
No, I want Jordan.
So you wouldn't take the deal that you're trying to talk me into.
Flip a coin. Whatever.
All right. Do you trust me to be honest with this?
No. Show it on the screen. I don't trust you at all. And I want heads.
Okay, hold on.
No, just hold your phone up.
You can't see because of the glare.
I'll be able to. I don't care. I'll be able to see it.
I'm going to random right now. List randomizer. How many? Just Logan Jay? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like this. I can't see it. That's the thing.
You act like I'm going to just leave you hanging. You know I won't do that. Okay, there it is. How many?
Best out of
How many
three.
times?
Oh, dude, let's just play rock. Let's play rock paper scissors. That'll be great on the thing.
Let's see what it would have. Let's just see
All
what
right.
it would have.
Well, I mean, no. If it's me, there you go. Got one.
No, we're doing rock paper scissors. Let's say
Son of a gun.
5 clicks. Here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it would have been me.
Yep. Okay. Glad we went rock paper scissors. So listen, it's rock paper scissors shoot. Best out of 3. Ties are a push. Ready?
Right. Yep.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Okay.
Dude, I don't like this. There's a little bit of delay.
It's okay. I got it. Ready?
Yep.
Rock
Paper,
scissors, shoot.
Oh.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Dang it! All right, that's one.
Okay.
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes.
When you say it, I'm just going to react because
Okay.
we're both saying it and it's messing me up.
All right, ready?
Okay. Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You? Yes, okay, yes. All right. Woo! Little delay, but we're all right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You're delayed. You're delayed more than you were before.
You're
I don't
delayed
like
more
this.
than me, so that's what I'm saying. So you can't
I don't
tell.
like this. I don't like this at all.
Randomizer.
No.
Had me. Do you want to just go
All
over
right,
that?
ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Dang it!
So I'll take Jordan. So I got MJ. And you're on the clock. How are you going to build your team now? It's against everything that you know.
You're getting all these players in their prime, right?
Yeah, correct. And you got to put them in a position.
I hate that, dude. Because now you get to react to my 2 picks. I don't want to do
Should
this
have taken
anymore.
3.
I really don't want to do this anymore.
You should have taken the 3 when you had a chance.
I'm like actually depressed now. It's because I want to take my big man, but then you're going to come with a big man stuff. LeBron and
where are you going to put him? Or do you want to just wait and you can put him?
You're not getting me into this right now. I'm in too vulnerable a position.
Third pick. This is a big one because those are the obvious 2 picks.
Give me KD.
All right.
I have reasoning behind everything, by the way.
Okay.
Now, do you get
Steph.
2? Okay.
Yeah, I get 2.
Okay.
Give me Steph. Are you looking at players?
I mean, I think those 2 are in my top 5 of unbeatable team of all time. So
No. Are you?
I don't need to. I don't need to. I have it, but I don't need to.
I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody.
Steph is not in my top 5 of unbeatable, and I can explain why.
Yeah, but he's a shooter. I like shooters.
Yes, he's not going to be able to guard anyone.
That's fine. For every 3 he makes, the other person makes 2. We still win by 1.
Okay.
In their prime, right?
In their prime,
I
yeah.
want Giannis. Dude, you got so upset when you
I'm
did not
very
get
mad.
that
My
rule.
wife texted me and said I'm getting Fortnite flashbacks. Don't wake the children.
Oh, that's great. I think I'm going to go with... Kareem.
Okay. I want Kobe and Hakeem.
Kobe and Olajuwon?
Yep.
So no Shaq.
So I believe that Olajuwon, because he's, in my opinion, maybe the best defensive player of all time, and he's a phenomenal offensive player, Hakeem is my guy. Like, in the modern age, Hakeem would be unstoppable. He's everything Jokic is, except he's also the best defensive player in the league. Except he's probably not as good of a passer, and but he would still score 28 a game, 50. He'd have 28, 15, and 4 blocks and 3 steals a game.
I'm gonna take Magic.
Okay.
So MJ, Steph, Kareem, Magic. I still need a little size here.
My team's wiping yours, by the way, even though you have Jordan.
I think I'm going to go with Mr. Fundamental. It's my 5th.
Who?
Timmy Duncan.
Oh, okay. So you got Duncan, Magic.
I got Magic, Steph, MJ, Duncan, Kareem.
Okay. You picked a horrible team.
First off, those are 5 Hall of Famers. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but they don't work together as a team.
They've never been on the same court. First off, that is an assumption at best.
Well, so Kareem, Magic, you have 3 guys that cannot shoot.
Don't need to. I got Steph.
You have to space the floor out more than that. I can play a box
Jordan.
and 1 on you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, box and 1 against 5 Hall of Famers. What are you talking about?
Well, I will literally.
We can make your 5th pick. This is ridiculous at this point. We should have done Will Ferrell movies.
It's a 50 man. So like, I could just once again take Shaq and just completely outsize you guys and dominate. But I honestly it's not so. I'm pretty sure I got 4 out of my 5.
So you would have taken MJ with those 4.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's really close to what it is.
Now, I would have taken KD over Steph. I would have done that.
So, Steph
KD,
is...
I
like Steph, and I think Steph is a better player, but Steph Curry's 6'3", and, who is he guarding on my team? He can't guard Kobe. He can't guard LeBron. He can't guard Kevin Durant, and he definitely can't guard Hakeem. So, if I stay big, and so, actually, I'm going to say with my next pick, and... So I want to take Larry Bird, who's I can't believe you didn't take, because in my opinion, Bird is better than everybody you picked except Jordan.
You think he's better than Magic?
Yeah, personally, I do. Yeah, I mean, Magic can't shoot. Magic, and I'm not sure. He'd been great no matter what, but modern day Magic looks a lot like Ben Simmons. So I'm thinking of playing in the modern era. So I want to take Larry Bird, but Larry was not as great of a defensive player. So the one that I would go to, because once again, I'm thinking you can switch, and that's another thing. Every single player on my team is a fantastic defensive player.
I would not say KD is a fantastic defense player.
You're out of your mind. Durant.
Fantastic?
Yeah, Durant was especially during the Warriors years when he can play small ball center. He's 67 foot tall, and he can move and switch amongst all guards and stuff. Yeah, I will. I'll tell you what. Just to be controversial, my heart says Larry Bird, my 3rd favorite player of all time. My head is going to say Kawhi Leonard. Prime Kawhi.
Okay.
So LeBron's running my point. Kobe at the 2. Kawhi at the 3. Kevin Durant at 4. And Hakeem. Yeah. I can literally switch 1 through 5. All of those guys can drive, shoot, pass, do everything.
Think Hakeem could guard Curry.
He's as good of a big man that can possibly guard Curry, yes. There is no
Could possibly not do it.
Well, first of all, no one can do it, right? But as good as there is, it's probably one of those 5 guys in Jordan.
All right. We'll see.
Like who is like if you're guarding Steph Curry, who's your player that you're throwing at him?
Like of all time?
Yeah, it's probably Michael Jordan. Or Scottie Pippen.
Or Scottie Pippen.
But Scottie couldn't shoot.
Or Rodman on the Pistons. He was a psycho.
Yeah. Psychopath. Yeah.
All right.
No, I like
We'll
Bird. I like Bird a lot more than Kawhi. Bird's a better player than Kawhi, but I'm thinking about how they fit on a basketball court together. And like I said, every single one of those guys is big, strong, and can do literally everything at a fantastic level. Like, I don't have anybody that can't shoot. I don't have anybody that can't dribble. I don't have anybody that can't defend. I'm strong at every position. Steph can't guard anybody on my team. Magic can't shoot.
Score everybody.
Kareem and Timmy can't shoot.
I don't need 5 shooters. That's what you're not understanding. I need a collective team. Magic
I know, but
can run this show. He ran the Lakes show. Magic runs this show easy.
Okay.
I have the most lethal score in history of the NBA.
Kareem and Duncan's...
So it's not my turn to talk. Okay.
Kareem and Duncan's guys are going to stay at home and clog the lane for Jordan to drive. And then Magic's guy is also going to lay off and clog the lane for Jordan to go. You're going to, a triangle and 2. Whatever. Like, I would just switch. I'm playing man. And you could try to hunt for mismatches, but all of my guys, literally, like, Kawhi Leonard is one of the best defensive guards of all time. Kobe Bryant, in his peak, is a fantastic defensive guard. Kevin Durant, same thing, 6'11". Like, you want to talk about contesting Steph Curry's shots and can stay in front of him pretty well. No offense, but, I expected more from a basketball coach. The coach is going to have to pull that offer. And he'll be like, hey, listen, I heard you draft this guy's team. Logan, how would you like to, if that's what it's all about?
Oh, is it my turn to talk? I tried to talk earlier, and then I just got interrupted the whole time, so...
Go ahead.
We'll see. We'll see who's got the fans in their corner. I might have to put out, like, an edit of you doing something stupid right before I release it. So even, like, the non-basketball people are like, Jay wins.
My all-time, like, favorite 5 is Curry, Jordan, Bird. I still have Hakeem. The 4th is kind of up in the air, but I gotta be honest, Jokic is really, like, just the most fun guys to play with. Like, There's no doubt, like, Bird is, like, an all-time, like, like, an all-time teammate. Like, it just stinks for Magic that the game is, like, you have to be able to shoot now. And Magic was just not a great shooter.
I just want him to run the show. I don't want him to do anything besides run the show.
Yeah, but in a half-court offense, like, everything's going to get much more stagnant.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess we will see.
Are you going to give us time to do Will Ferrell?
Nah, we'll do it next week.
Yeah.
All right. So
what question is
it? Our exit question of the night. If every single animal, and you got to pick, and this off the top of your head, so I'm excited to see what your answer is. If every single animal, insect, let's keep it with something, insect and animals, not like viruses or germs or anything like that. Okay, so animals, insects. If every single one was the same size, what is the strongest one in the world?
Isn't there an ant or a fish or something that, like, can lift hundreds and hundreds of times its weight? So I think it's that. I think that's like an actual scientific fact. I don't think that's debatable. Like, I don't think a gorilla or a bear can lift hundreds of times its own weight. So if they're all the same size and same weight, then I think it's an ant. I'm pretty sure they can lift hundreds of times their own weight. So yeah, ants, but yeah, so like if an ant was the size of a whale, we would all die. That would be the end of humanity and they would be the dominant species. because they would literally be able to move mountains. Like they would, like you would try to run over one with a car, and it would be like you hit a brick wall. Like, yeah, you're done. So,
all right, there we go. Episode 6 is in the books. We appreciate you guys. Sorry, it's a couple days late. We'll be better next week. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe, as Logan says. Thanks, everybody.